It is January 18th, 2013. Oh, cool, I didn't fuck up the date. It is time to talk about TNA Impact. Yay!
Yay!
Yay.
I am Duo's Angel, and specifically because I was told not to, Guap. There, we've gotten one in.
You're fired!
Ah! Cool, I never have to watch this crap again.
You're rehired!
With me are...
I am the ghost of Kezra because he died earlier tonight when Mind Jack was brought up by Revolver Man.
Mind Jack. And I'm Iron Bite. Iron Bite Dash. And now, what is the Iron Sheik tweeting? Ah. The dear Abby died, God bless her. Now we have the dear Sheiky. I give best advice. Respect the legend. Hashtag Team Sheiky.
What?
I would actually write into an advice column if the Iron Sheik was actually giving good solid advice.
I don't know if he'd give good, solid advice, but it'd probably still be fun to do.
Yeah, it probably would.
Although, wow, the person who did Dear Abby is dead. Huh.
Actually, it was twin sisters. They were doing Dear Abby and something else, but they're both dead.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, that
This is not something I ever did myself. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's pretty before my time, at least when it started. And I
Yeah.
was not the kind of person to do magazines.
Yeah, or newspapers or whatever it is. But I've got a Dear Abby. Dear Abby, why did I watch Impact last night?
Why did I watch Genesis? That's the real question.
Yeah, why did you watch Genesis? That shit was boring.
I don't know. Nothing happened in that fucking show. I want my money back, and I didn't even pay for it.
You know,
Boring
here's the thing.
seems to be the name of the game this month because last week's episode was boring as hell.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that well kills me. Genesis was supposed to be a big pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
It
Yes,
wasn't.
they're only doing like 4.
Well, so we're being told. I'm not exactly sure if they are. But Genesis was supposed to be one of their bigger pay-per-views, and nothing. I got so much. I wore out my YouTube fast forward button.
Dude.
It was what, a 2-3 hour show, and I finished it in like 5 minutes.
When it comes to Genesis, when Chris quits a pay-per-view or any show, you know your show is boring as balls.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's okay. We've got a wedding.
Yeah.
So
Swerve.
you know shenanigans are gonna happen. In fact, we get to see little brother Spike Dudley, and why the fuck is Tommy Dreamer on TNA?
Oh, that's who that was. Not
Because-
Tommy Dreamer. I actually recognized him, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, Tommy, what the fuck are you doing here? What the fuck is Tommy Dreamer doing on? Okay, I understand Rosita is hot, but Rosita, Rosita. Come on. But dude, wasn't it not 2 months ago you were in the WWE kicking 3MB's ass? What the fuck? What are you doing?
He was paid for his appearance, and
Why are
maybe
you here?
him and Bully Ray are actually friends.
My real question is, what the fuck happened to Spike Dudley?
He retired.
No, I mean, look at him.
I try not to.
He looks fucking old. And
That's why I try not to.
Here's the sad truth. They are.
But that's not it. Hogan looks younger than Dudley.
That is so sad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think he looked
by
that bad. Then again, I
yeah,
wasn't paying attention because I had no idea who he was.
Yeah. So we're going to open up our total nonstop action show with Jeff Hardy talking.
Correction. We start off with backstage segments for the bride and groom,
Oh God.
I was trying to avoid
which
that.
I have to admit,
Ah.
these weren't that bad.
They weren't bad per se. It was just okay. This is supposed to, I know this is supposed to be a wrestling wedding. Can we just get to, I don't know, a wrestling match?
No, it's a wedding.
Yeah, unfortunately, all the wedding bits ended up going really well, like as far as being competent and not being incredibly annoying.
But
But unfortunately, it was a lot like being at a real wedding.
yeah, it really was.
Which,
I couldn't.
if you're not, involved or, actually part of the family or something, it's not that interesting.
No, I was not at my sister's wedding, but I have watched the video of her getting married,
Dude, you went
and
to your sister's wedding? That's cool.
I was on the other side of the country.
Oh, okay.
It
Thank
happens.
you. And I didn't have the airfare to get over there.
Okay.
So yeah, they have the backstage segment with the bride and groom. It's basically Bully talking to Spike and Tommy, and then Brooke is getting ready, and all the knockouts are going to be your bridesmaids, and then one of them, I didn't even recognize whose voice said, "Hey, is your dad coming?" And it's like, I don't know. Did I say that with enough emotion, Dad? Are you right off screen directing this piece of shit?
Uh,
So let's go out to the ring where Jeff Hardy is out to talk about his victory. His, according to my results, exciting victory over Bobby Roode and Austin Aries.
Oh my God, that match.
I saw the footage. Didn't look
Not,
that great.
yeah. I don't know.
Actually looked kind of awkward.
Yeah, well, it kind of was. I don't know where they got the crowd besides, the usual places, but they were chanting, "You still got it," to Jeff.
And my response immediately was, I fucking wish.
Uh, when did he ever lose it? That's my better question.
My better question is:
2011, never mind.
Drugs. So many drugs.
Isn't
God
isn't the
damn
crowd
it.
isn't the crowd only supposed to chant that to you if you're old and washed up? Oh wait, it's Jeff Hardy.
He's not that old.
That
He's not
crowd
that
chants
washed
what the
up.
fuck they want.
But the Impact crowd is so full of smarks, it's not even funny. Anyways, as he's talking about, how he fights through the pain and through people, but he does it for every one of the fans, out comes bad influence. And Kazarian says, "Hey, Jeff, are you really ready for a fight? Because in 1 week, we're gonna waste a title shot on free TV." What? No, at that point I had to stop and go, what?
Mm.
What? What? What?
I'm calling
Why?
it. Hmm?
No. What? What? What?
I imagine this ties into the limited amounts of pay-per-views. That and the fact that it's TNA.
You know what? I'm calling it now, and I said this yesterday. AJ is going to come back next week and screw Daniels, and then we're going to have another match.
I don't really care because if AJ comes back and screws Daniels, that'd be awesome, because then
Except for the part where we would be in like yet another feud between those two.
oh yeah, there's that. There's always a downside to everything TNA does. Anyways, Daniels gets in the ring and he's yeah, I'm the Thursday Night Delight. I'm the man that beat AJ Styles and sent him home and made him lose his style. And I beat James Storm at Genesis to become the #1 contender. And I don't need any creatures, because they're just creatures of habit. And the habit being losing. Hey, Daniels, when was the last time you held a title that wasn't tag team titles? Huh? Can you answer me that, you fruity looking Mr. Clean?
No, he's a Bond villain. Don't disrespect the dude.
Okay.
What was with the scarf?
Yeah. So Daniels is like, when I beat you for the belt, your creatures have permission to worship me. And then Hardy's like, we can just do it now. And then this causes Kazarian to attack Jeff Hardy. And then they both start beating him down. And out comes James Storm. And they're chased off. And James is like, hey, I want to fight. And he looks at Jeff Hardy and says, hey, Let's have a tag team match right now. And now it's time for another edition of What's Going On in Jeff Hardy's Mind.
Oh no.
As I looked at James Storm, realizing he was a cowboy, an outlaw, a man who made his own rules. I didn't know he had the power to make matches. And why hasn't he made himself a match for my fruity-looking belt? I looked at Therian, wondering why I was seeing a slimmer Scott Hall, who had apparently shaved his head due to a bad bar bet. At his relationship with my new opponent, Christopher Daniels, who really did look like a fruity-looking Mr. Clean if he had trimmed down and lost weight. That was when I began to wonder about their relationship, wondering if perhaps they've been a little bit too much broke back rather than bad to the bone. I
What?
like bad to the bone. Bad to the bone is an awesome thing. I don't know what it is. Maybe a song, possibly. I looked down at my hands and realized some of my face paint that I had gotten done by a very talented young lady backstage 5 minutes before I came out, and realized I may have wanted to do this earlier in the day so that it didn't come off and made me look like an idiot. But then I realized that I was in TNA and I was already an idiot. That was when I looked at James Storm and said, "Let's do this." That was what was going on in Jeff Hardy's head.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
You don't want to know what was going on in Matt Hardy's head.
Oh god, no.
At the same time, too. So this match happens because James Storm wills it.
Yeah, like, Kazarian and Daniels even say, no, we're not getting back in the ring, and Storm's like, you don't have a choice. And it's like, what?
What? I mean, if James Storm, you could have even tied it into the theme of the night by going, you know what? I'm gonna give Hulk Hogan I'm gonna give Brooke and Bully a wedding present by kicking your ass.
Well, the thing is, and the immediate thought, of course, is we have a general manager. Shouldn't he be coming out and saying this? Later
not.
we'll find out. Well, he's not even fucking there.
Yeah, the general manager wasn't at the fucking pay-per-view.
And he will not show up for an hour.
I don't understand this. Why? What is Hogan's actual? What is
Job.
actual? Yeah, what is actual? His actual job, because he's never fucking there to do anything.
His job
I
is to
would
be a
imagine
condescending
at this
asshole.
point, all he actually does is show up.
His job is to be a condescending asshole to other wrestlers.
Like,
Oh.
outside of kayfabe, he probably is just being paid to show up and act.
Yeah. So yeah, this match happened because this is literally what I can say about it. It's a good solid match. All four guys were hitting their spots. At one point, for whatever reason, Storm decides to hit a plancha over the top rope onto Daniels, and he starts selling his knee. This will be pertinent later on. And Jeff Hardy picks up the win over by pinning Kazarian with a twist of fate. And then Daniels hits him from behind with angel wings. And grabs the world title and is like, hey, I've got the belt. And Kazarian is like, I'm confused.
Yeah, the match itself was pretty good. It was an opening match. It's just kind of weird because the champion was in it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I don't mind that Jeff Hardy, got the fuck out of Dodge before shit hit the fan at the end of the show. But
well, the thing is, this would have ended up being the main event if we didn't have a wedding.
Yeah, it would have been.
That occurred to me at the end. It's like, this would have been the main event, but that spot is booked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was, so anyways, we go backstage where the gut check judges are talking about Brian Cage and Jay Bradley from last week, who did their gut check challenge and against each other instead of one going up against a established talent on the TNA roster and losing like a bitch. But then we go back. Yeah, we then have Bully Ray talking to Spike about him reeking of, and I have to quote this, booze and strippers. I do
That's
believe,
really funny,
yeah,
considering what we will see of the bachelor party later on.
yeah, there's
Exactly.
that,
Because
but
they're going to show us. They have exclusive footage.
And
yeah,
actually, I'll admit, I thought the bachelor party thing was a plot point to make the wedding go sour.
Honestly, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to be a bachelor party. It's not. It looked like it was a promo event.
Yeah.
yeah,
Actually, I was expecting it to be like, ooh, something like the Aces and Eights show up, and they have unreleased footage from the bachelor's party, and then yeah, you know the rest.
But however, the best thing in TNA walks in. Joseph,
Yay!
Park.
I don't know what this man did. Um hold on a second. I gotta find Abyss's real name. Um, what Chris Park did to reinvent himself, okay, as his own brother. But good lord, he has become just so awesome.
He's
And
basically taken the concept of an underdog and gotten it over amazingly well because
Yeah,
he's actually a pretty good actor.
yeah, he's got tons of charisma.
he's got this tons of charisma, and the Joseph Park character is literally the best part
He's
of.
adorable.
Yes, he was. And what he gives to he thanks Bully Ray for because if Bully Ray hadn't done what he did, he would have never gotten to become a wrestler. And then he gives him some Cuban cigars and says they're not exactly street legal, kayfabe.
Oh yeah,
And
K-Fab.
that made me giggle because and Bully Ray actually looks at him just like, what the fuck is K-Fab?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hope that's something we see more of him getting wrestling terms wrong, because that would be nice.
I think that's kind of part of what the gimmick is.
Yeah.
He's basically always just going to be super, super charismatic and kind of awkward and silly. And that's okay.
That is
I'm okay with that.
He
so
gets to win a few matches eventually.
he probably will. So
I
let's go
will.
back to in the ring with JB, who's with the gut check judges, who is going to decide if Brian Cage or Jay Bradley earns the contract. And
Yeah.
they basically say, yeah, Brian Cage is just out of it. This is just about Jay Bradley.
Oh
And
yeah, I remember that made me just go like, oh yeah, so it's not all about winning. No, there are other things important. But you lost, so you get the fuck out of here.
yeah, and then so it's just down to Bradley, and Taz is like, hey, the elimination wasn't this wasn't a unanimous one. I voted for Cage. And Bradley then gets to plead his case, and he says, and I have to quote this: "I've humped so many highways, I probably owe some child support."
I loved that.
That was like
That was very good.
that was
I
the
actually really liked that.
that was the best line because, good lord.
That was just
Um.
well done
Oh
with the metaphor.
yeah, that was a very good metaphor. And Jay Bradley is your newest member of the TNA roster,
Yay.
which means he'll be sent down to OVW for a while.
Also, has anyone noticed what Tez's gimmick in the gut check is? He's basically the guy who backstage is like, yes, yes, yes. Then when he gets to the ring, is like, no, no, no.
Could you bang on your desk a little bit more?
Yes.
Thank you. So our next match of the night is a rematch from Genesis. It's Christian York versus Kenny King. And I saw this at Genesis, so, I didn't care.
Yeah.
I have seen very little of both of them, especially Kenny King. I just found out he existed last week.
Yeah.
So I
remember
wasn't
that.
sure what to expect. And I shouldn't have expected anything because just as soon as the match got warmed up and they started to really go, it was over.
Yeah, that was one of those, what the fuck is going on?
Because they're putting over Kenny King as a heel, and they need him to do like heelish stuff.
But no, again, this
It
was
had
one of
to come
those.
back before they
Okay,
did that, though.
yeah, this was. I love X Division matches because they're so high energy, and while the endings do tend to come out of nowhere, they tend to come out of nowhere after a while. This was okay. We just got past stage 1 of the X Division match. Stage 2 is going to be a little bit longer. It might be a little slower. And then stage 3 is going. Why is the match over?
Because they did the match the Sunday before.
I don't care. Why is the match
Yeah,
over?
that's not a reason in wrestling.
No. And then
In TNA, it's a reason.
yeah, and then as King's by the way, he King wins by raking Christian York's eyes as Christian York is going to go for King's own royal flush and then rolls him up as like, "Hey dummy, you can't." And Kenny King's like, "Hey dummy, you can't see me. How's your neck?"
Did they really say that?
That's what I got on my results.
Holy shit!
Huh. I did not notice.
I think if I remember correctly, wasn't Christian York the guy who no, he didn't get his neck broken by Zema. Never mind.
No, no,
No, that was
I forget his name.
Yeah,
I've forgotten his name now, but I feel really bad because at this point it's pretty obvious that his career ended. Jesse Sorensen.
Yeah,
yeah.
Jeff
Thank you,
Sorensen.
Jesse Sorensen. Um,
Every time I see Zima Ion now, all I can think is you ended a man's career,
and
and
probably
then they put you over.
and he probably feels incredibly, incredibly uh bad about that too.
I'm sure he feels horrible, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
god damn, do I wish TNA had not turned him into a heel and then given him that push immediately afterwards.
oh yeah.
Yeah. But oh, I do have good news. Jesse Sorensen apparently is cleared to return to the ring.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Wonder if he'll
So
actually go back to TNA.
I wouldn't.
Me-
I think he is.
So we go back to the back,
Shit.
and Bully Ray is approaching Sting. Is like, Sting, listen, you're the only guy in the company that trusts me, but I need Brooke to be happy. Can you go beg Sting to? Could you go beg Hulk to walk her down the aisle? I'll try, man. I'll try.
No, Sting says the funniest thing. I don't remember. Oh god damn it! I don't remember what he said, but it enraged me because he said something along the lines that um you were always there for me or something like that, and I just yelled at my screen like he's been by your side for like 2 3 months. You barely know the guy.
That's a
Yeah.
lot like every time Sting and Hogan talk about, the good old days and how they've always had each other's backs. And
Ugh, really?
I'm pretty sure even before TNA, they probably were against each other many, many times.
And,
Yeah.
During WCW, Sting waged a one-man war against Hogan's NWO.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't
And
know.
then there was the time of Joker Sting.
Yeah. Honestly, I think TNA rewrites reality.
Yeah, we
Okay, I
saw
won't say it.
that
That
when
would
they
be it.
changed the entire breakup of the Dudley boys. Fuckers.
Yeah.
God, that
So
pissed me off.
so
They
we
did
go to the
what?
back where TNA's greatest odd couple is talking to one another, and that's Austin Aries and
Uh,
Bobby Roode. I love these two so much. They
they annoy me.
Yeah, I know. They talk. They basically pick at each other's clothes, pick at each other's catchphrases. Then they get down to business. And say, you know what? I I really don't want to have this celebration. I have objections to this
Wedding.
this wedding. And Rude's like, no, I have a few objections. And Aries is like, well, you know what? I have a few objections. And they go on for a few minutes. And they're like, and Rude's like, you know what? I'm not even invited to this thing. But you know what? I'm crashing it. And Austin Aries is like, I'm not even invited to it. I'm crashing it as well. And an hour into the show, Hulk Hogan arrives.
Yay.
And we've had 2 matches.
And he's not answering any questions. So basically, he's Kamen Rider Zeronosis from Kamen Rider Deno. Don't ask him any questions. No, I'm sorry. Yes. No, that was Kamen Rider Axel from Kamen Rider Double.
Shut up, you nerd.
I got my secondary Kamen Riders wrong. I'll go Rider kick myself in the gonads later. We go to after a commercial break. We go backstage where Bully Ray is talking to his best men when Taz walks in because it's not like he has to announce anything at the announcer's booth, and is asking, "What's the deal here? No Paul?
Oh,
No Paul Heyman?
They
Oh, that's who they were talking about.
they name drop Paul Heyman. I was like, they really do that?
Yes.
Yeah. Bully Ray says, I called him up and Paul said he'd call me back. Which is an inside joke based on the fact that when Paul Heyman was notorious about telling people he'll call them back when he owed them money. And now you know the joke.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. And then Dreamer asks, "Hey, Bully, in this obviously convoluted line, is Hulk gonna show up?" And Bully's like, "I don't know, but you know what? And Brooke is a wreck about it. But even if Hulk Hogan doesn't show up, I'm here, you're here, and that's all that matters at this point."
I find it funny that he says Brooke was a total wreck, because at this point we've only seen her the one time, but
And she was
she
not.
seemed fine.
She was a
Yeah.
little sad, yeah, but
She was a little upset, definitely, but she wasn't a fucking wreck.
No.
In fact, when she was asked about it, she handled it very well. It was just,
Yeah.
I don't know, and that was it.
Yeah.
So, what?
So then Sting comes down to the ring
Oh, good.
and he's asking Hulk Hogan to come down with him.
oh yeah, oh this made me so mad.
Why
It's
do you have
not
to
an ordinary night at Impact. Then again, it never is.
Why the
Depends on
fuck?
whose definition of ordinary we're going on.
Why the fuck do you take out a theme like a topic like this, which is really delicate to Hulk Hogan, and why the fuck do you go take it out in the middle of the ring?
Because you know what? James Storms wills it.
I'm just thinking about this episode of TNA is making me so mad because they did so much stupid shit that just makes me want to break something. Ah!
Hey, Ghost of Kezra,
Yeah?
go conquer Spain.
Ah, too big. Plus, the
Oh.
border is closed at this time of the hour. You can't pass an army through the border.
All right. So anyways, Hulk eventually comes down and he tells Sting, "Cut the crap, brother. Tell me what you want, brother. Brother.
Brother.
Get to the point.
Brother."
And Sting proceeds
brother.
to go on about how Bully Ray has been there for Sting, and he's always been there for Hulk, and he's always been there for Brooke, and it's just like, yeah, for like the last couple months.
But brother,
Kinda.
don't you know? But brother, don't you know? I look in the eyes of Bully Ray and there's something not right there, brother. I don't like the vibe that's coming off of him, brother.
Plus, the audience keeps telling me not to trust him.
Brother.
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 Brother. Brother.
Once again, bringing up the very confusing thing of a few months ago, Bully Ray was one of his most trusted friends.
Yeah. Bully Ray was leading the charge against Aces and Eights.
Oh yeah, he totally was.
And
But that's okay, because that's not the real reason, as we'll find out later in the night.
yeah. And Hulk's like, I always do the right thing, brother. And I'm gonna do it again tonight, and then walks away.
And then he didn't shoot.
Yeah. So we go backstage where Gail Kim is asking Taryn Terrell about how long she's been in TNA, and oh look, there's my foot under the ropes, you bitch. Gail, I understand you're married to Robert Irvine and he cooks you very good food.
Who?
You didn't know Gail Kim was married to Robert Irvine?
I don't know who Robert Irvine is.
The celebrity
Neither do I.
chef on Food Network who does Restaurant Impossible?
Oh,
And
holy
now
shit! Him?
this
Yeah!
this is the part
Wow.
I need to remind you. I don't get US cable.
You should start.
How do I even do that?
I'm pretty sure that's impossible.
Dig a
Pretty much.
hole. Robert Irvine, in case anybody didn't know, anybody who's not me doesn't know, is a celebrity chef on Food Network who does a couple shows, most notably Dinner Impossible and Restaurant Impossible. Dinner Impossible involves him doing making a meal in
He
a couple
basically caters events and he has a time limit.
like an 8 or 10 hour time limit. Restaurant Impossible, he takes 2 days to turn a failing restaurant.
He rips off Kitchen Nightmares.
Yes, exactly.
Pretty much.
And he does the actually he rips off everything that Gordon Ramsay does. He even curses at everybody.
Gordon Ramsay is awesome.
Yes. So getting off this uncomfortable topic, Tara is like, yeah, I'm sorry, Tiffany is like, you know what, Gail, I'm gonna call everything will be called down the middle of the rematch. Gail's like, it better be. Oh, it
I
better
keep forgetting her name, so I can never think of her as anything except Leg Avenue model.
be. So we go to commercial.
Never gonna get over that.
When we come back, we have the Bachelor promo. Duos
And
take
it was a
away.
promo, because all we see is Bully Ray taking pictures with a bunch of women who may or may not have been actual strippers. Although, considering how they're dressed, I think they might have been call girls.
Oh dear Lord, seriously?
What?
They were pretty fancily dressed up considering they were supposed to be strippers at a strip club.
Point taken.
You know, to be honest, I haven't been in many strip clubs.
I haven't
But
been in any, but I can guarantee you they don't wear, like, evening dresses that you would wear out on, like, a date or something.
Some get a little fancy. But
Eh,
that's neither here nor there.
costume.
I mean, you know, some of them get kind of fancy with their costuming. And now people know way too much of my private life.
It's just stripping.
Yeah, that's true. So we have the TNA Knockouts #1 contenders match. A complete rematch from Genesis. Except there's no foot under the rope at the end.
But they do that thing in which Gail Kim is about to go for the pin, and then Taryn Terrell notices that Velvet Sky's foot is under the rope, and then what? Yada yada yada. You know the rest.
Yeah.
I would like to make a comment.
Go ahead.
Why is Velvet Sky dressed as a nice dancer?
I have no clue anymore.
That is one of the ugliest ring gear I have ever seen.
Oh, that's
Wait.
Velvet. That's Velvet Sky because I was pretty convinced it was my grandma.
I would hope your grandmother has, doesn't often wear, sheer body suits over panties.
No.
Well, to be fair, at least it showed off her ass. You know, to be fair,
Yeah.
Velvet, you've got a nice one, but God damn you, Christopher Sabin. Just God damn you.
What the?
I will
Fuck.
say I was impressed. This match was like almost 6 minutes.
I know it
In
was.
fact, it was exactly 5 minutes and 53 seconds bell to bell.
Wow.
Because yeah, I'm timing this shit now. I'm gonna be doing it for WWE too.
That's actually longer than the WWE gives the Divas.
Well, depends.
Yeah, when it hit 5 minutes, or when it hit about like 4 minutes, I suddenly found myself wondering, wait, am I wrong? Do they usually give them time and it's just WWE?
No,
But I'm pretty
it's
sure
actually
I'm not.
well the thing about it is TNA has always done a better job of giving the knockouts time to actually do things. WWE is kind of taken to putting their divas as just eye candy, which is really sad. Anyways, after Velvet Sky retains her number one contendership, we go to the back where Dixie Carter's congratulating Brooke Hogan.
And acting like she's a
Act-
mother.
Yeah.
Or her aunt. Like, seriously, it seemed some kind of older woman familiar figure, and it's just like, have the two of you ever actually spoken outside of business?
And
I
honestly,
didn't know they knew each other outside of just being hired by her. What the fuck?
and honestly, it was one of the fake crying was what got to me. I actually had to pause the YouTube that I was watching, walk out of the house, walk down to the elementary school, and I busted down laughing. And now people know I live near an elementary school.
That is terrifying.
I know, isn't
A
it?
little bit.
Um. So. So then well, we have a replay of what has happened. By the way, 3 matches this entire show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That was the last one. And it was
Total
okay.
total nonstop action.
Wedding.
Yeah, that too. So
We get a recap, which
yeah,
is weird because we had a recap at the beginning that pretty much covered most of this.
and then we have the wedding. Well, no, actually, before we have the wedding, we have Bobby Roode and Austin Aries coming out to crash it.
Except you can't crash a wedding that is not in progress.
Yeah, these two are obviously a little bit early, but that's okay because then they start doing some one-upsmanship over each other. Roode starts off with, I'm the it factor and I have the longest reigning title in TNA history, and Aries is like, and I beat the longest reigning champion. And everything that's great about the past 10 years in TNA is all because of us two. And now you got RVD as X Division champion, Devon as TV champion, Chavo and Hernandez and tag champions, and the Golden Child, Jeff Hardy, as world champions. You know what? They object to the wedding because they're sick and tired of how they're being treated.
And at this point, I realized, oh god, they're not just ripping off Team Hell No, they're ripping off CM Punk.
Yep.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
The best idea TNA can have is ripping off the 3 coolest things in the WWE right now. But this brings out Chavo and Hernandez.
Oh God.
And they have some objections as well. They object to Austin Aries and Bobby Roode being in the ring. And Chavo's like, hey, there's a reason why you're no longer champions, Eddie. You know what? And Aries is like, hey, you know what? I got another objection. I didn't know the help was allowed to come down and object to anything.
That was actually rude, and he's like,
Oh.
I guess that's what he said, but he actually called them caterers. And then Aries is like, I've never heard of anyone serving Mexican at a wedding. It's just like, did we really need to go
there.
Racist? Did we need the racist comments? Did we
Oh,
really?
They are eels.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
There's
Rude.
some things you just shouldn't be doing.
Yeah,
ever.
Rude. Then orders a quesadilla, and Aries wants a vegan burrito.
And then for the first time ever, I happily watched Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez beat the shit out of someone.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to see Hernandez border toss Robert Roode across the ring, and I didn't care if he hurt him. That's how
Although,
it was.
considering that's probably a little harsh, considering they may not have actually come up with that by themselves.
Yeah.
I don't care. He delivered it. He delivered the line. He deserves his punishment.
By the way, I think we can all assume that there will be a new feud.
And
Yeah.
you're looking at the new tag team champions almost sure for sure.
Oh,
Slowly.
definitely.
So we go backstage after a brief commercial, and Hogan is and Stinger in Hogan's office, and he's showing a picture of him and Brooke before she had breast surgery.
And we finally find out the real reason that Hoke is really against this. It's not Bully Ray. Bully Ray's a great guy. He's one of them. It's the business. Hoke has never wanted his daughter to deal with the business and the fact that, it can take people away from their families for extended times. A lot of people have had failed marriages because of it. And my immediate thought is, so why did you let her join?
Point.
You didn't seem to mind when she got hired.
Yeah, I couldn't understand this at all. I mean, she's in the business. She's working. She's the TNA. She's the Knockout general manager.
Why didn't they just turn Bully Ray heel?
I don't know
Because
what
then
they
all
do.
of this would suddenly make sense.
Well,
Yeah.
hold on a second. I will get into that in a little bit. But
Probably be a more interesting storyline.
yeah, so now we're gonna have the wedding. It's being set up in the ring, and Bully Ray makes his way down the ring first. Tommy Dreamer and Miss Testmacher come out, and then Spike Dudley and Mickey James. And Mickey James is already taller than Spike,
Yeah.
but the heels she had on made her look like Spike was 4'5". And so just imagine that if you can. And then out comes Taz and Christy Hemme. So now the wedding party is in the ring. I don't know what happened to the Knockouts actually acting as Brooke Hogan's bridesmaids.
No, that's what you do.
Okay, because I've never been.
That's how you send the wedding party down. What's funny is she didn't have a maid of honor.
Yeah, that kind of irked me. Where were her?
Unless it was supposed to be Christy Hemme. In that case, why is she wearing the same dress as the other two?
I don't know. So out comes Brooke in the. Why would you wear that dress?
To be fair, other than the fact that it was too fucking low cut and had no straps, she actually looks pretty good.
Yeah. And as the world is getting a look at the perfection that is Brooke Hogan, out comes the real bride, Hulk Hogan.
Oh, and Brooke, as she's coming down, she kind of stops and looks behind her and gets kind of sad. Goes a little farther, stops, looks behind her, and Hogan comes from the side. And it's just like, oh, this is kind of sweet. Wait, there's no more conflict. And that's pretty much where it basically just became a wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've been to a wedding, I'm not going to recap it because it was definitely a recap.
It was a cute little ceremony. The opening speech was a little cheesy, but the vows were really nice. And just like, I'm at an actual wedding. It's nice. It's not that interesting, but it's nice.
You know what? I'm actually gonna. We're actually going to have a time when something good happens in wrestling and it's not fucked. And then I looked down at the time and I was like,
Uh-oh.
there's 5 more minutes of this shit.
By the
Fuck.
way, is there any odds that they might have actually been getting married? Because it started to
No.
look that way.
No, I know is actually happily married to somebody who isn't Brooke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And and Brooke is dating some rapper. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so after they say the I do's and exchange the rings, the preacher's about to pronounce the man and wife when Taz grabs the mic and says, I can't let this go on. Look, brother, Bully, I've known you a long time and we're like brothers, but do you really want to do this right now? Oh, by the way, is it just me? Or is it hot in here? As he takes off his jacket, he's got an Aces and Eights patch on.
Uh,
Okay.
Excuse me for a second. I have to go break things.
I think duels.
Right?
Exactly. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I definitely have words for this. Aces and Eights end up attacking, the wedding party, and okay, but this was almost immediately after, and here's the problem with this reveal. Because it wasn't bad. The general setup and how it went over was good and, good for a reveal, but Taz is an announcer.
Okay.
He's almost never involved in storyline stuff, so
This is where
we're
you're
not
wrong.
really invested in him in any real way. His turning heel is meaningless. And on
Actually,
top of that, we didn't even get any real chance to absorb it. Because he reveals, they go on that for a bit, and then immediately it's a clusterfuck.
hi, I'm back.
It's just wasn't good enough.
It's not. It was an actual swerve. I mean, I don't think anyone expected that. Let's be honest. But
I wasn't, but
it was.
that's because, as the nostalgia critic once put it, I wouldn't have expected it to be turned into broccoli either.
It's
Well,
pointless.
the thing that kills me. All right, Ace and Eight suddenly come out and they just start beating the shit out of everybody in the ring.
And Brooke's dress almost fell off.
Yeah, that was actually it did.
It slipped because she had to hold her arm over her breast for basically
Yeah.
the rest of the night.
Where was Samoa Joe and Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff?
And Kurt Angle.
Well, Kurt Angle got hurt last week, so
All
I
the
didn't
more reason
expect
for
him.
him to show up.
Where was Sting?
Sting was there.
Okay, good. Sting was getting his
I
ass
don't know
kicked.
how.
Where was the TNA army that's supposedly at war with the Aces and Eights?
They were taking a small vacation. You know how it is.
This is what kills me about this Aces and Eights storyline. This is what kills me about these storylines that Russo made famous about how you'll have one super heel group and none of the faces realize, hey, you know what? What if we all banded together and kicked these guys' ass?
Nah, too much
We
trouble.
could do that. I mean, we'll put aside our rivalries just for a little bit, and then we'll go up against this super group. It would make perfect sense.
I think the general idea is probably something where wrestlers are too selfish for that.
Yeah, probably.
But at the
Or,
same,
more realistically, that's a lot of people that you're suddenly working into one angle.
yeah, and
It doesn't make any sense, but that's also kind of the sort of thing that really wouldn't be that smart of an idea.
well,
Because you
again,
suddenly now have one storyline.
well, one storyline that isn't not retarded is better than 15 storylines that make no sense.
Oh no,
But
sir. Aces and Eights is stupid as fuck.
yes, Aces and Eights is stupid as fuck. And adding Taz to the oh god, now I understand why they've added that third moron to the announcer's booth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hit me too. It's just like, oh god, that's why.
And and you want to know even better? This is
What?
a ripoff of Paul Heyman turning heel when the invasion angle happened in 2001.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
slightly acceptable.
yeah.
You can rip off shit that happened over a decade ago.
Yeah, that's
TNA's
reasonable.
problem is they rip off everything that's happening in WWE right now.
Yeah. So here's my next question. Where was Chavo and Hernandez? Where were all the faces? Where was James Storm and Jeff Hardy?
They were taking
There
a
was
vacation.
security.
Where was security? Yes, exactly. I understand aces and eights can come and go into the building as they want,
Vacation. They
but
had to
wouldn't
pay.
you have this is just
They had the pay-per-view. They were resting.
again.
Yes, again.
I've said this before. Again. TNA when they fuck up royally. At least when the WWE fucks up, they can kind of go, we didn't mean to do that. When TNA fucks up, it's like, yeah, we totally meant to do that.
We've made a terrible decision, but just
We're just
go
gonna
ahead and
keep
look at the
going.
last for fucking ever, and you'll remember that we've earned the ability to fuck up every so often.
No, not just every so often. They just fuck up everything. I mean,
No, not TNA. WWE has enough
oh yeah,
history of being a
good.
pretty, being good
Oh, sorry.
to occasionally fuck up. It's television, that's what happens. Especially when it's a weekly show,
Yeah,
one of them's live. Like, shit will happen. Not everything's going to work. That's fine.
but TNA really should. I mean, simple is better, and they're really getting this aces and eights storyline really fucking complicated, like to a degree that I just can't understand.
Yeah.
But that was Impact. It was
It
annoying.
was
It was
it was
there.
lackluster.
Um, we
Only
had
one truly exciting thing happened the entire night. It was like the last 2 minutes of the show, and it happened so fast that you didn't really process it much.
I have no
Everything
clue what you're
before
talking about.
that was okay.
Was it Brooke Hogan almost falling out of her dress?
No, Aces Nate's attacking.
Oh, okay. That's not really
By the
exciting.
way, when Hogan did not show up with an axe, I knew how this was going to end.
Yeah.
Taz was a good swerve,
Taz was a good swerve.
but I knew the
But
Aces Nates were going to attack.
all right. Now we get into conspiracy theory 101 here. And this is something I discussed wrestling with other people than you guys, and we've come the guy I talked to has come up with a very interesting theory. A while back, I've said that the ultimate president the president of the Aces and Eights is going to end up being Bully Ray. Well, I'm kind of torn between either Bully Ray or Jeff Jarrett. Okay. But when you think about it, Bully Ray is looking more and more likely to be the one who's going to swerve everyone and reveal that, oh yeah, I've been behind aces and eights the whole way, Hogan. You were right not to trust me. I
Nah.
stole your daughter. I stole your company, and yeah, I'm good. But the more I think about it, the more I'm not buying into that. I definitely think it's my original suspect, Jeff Jarrett. He will be revealed as the president of the Aces and Eights, trying to get his company back. And
There's a
this no,
good idea in there.
there is a good idea in there, except I've seen it before.
Yeah,
Honestly, the good idea where it fucks up is they used a biker gang.
Yeah, they
And I
used.
still protest the fact that they let cameras into the back of their clubhouse. No. Hell the
Um,
fuck no.
yeah, I know. So, what gets more screen time than Jay Lethal? Brooke
uh,
Hogan. Brooke Hogan's boobs gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
The fake wedding presents outside the ring gets more screen time than Jay Lethal. Because we've panned across those suckers all the goddamn time.
I was going to say
Those
something.
were establishing shots.
I was going to say something, but it doesn't count since it was during the commercials. So I'll just say that strippers get more time than Jay Lethal.
What are you gonna say? I want to know. I'm curious.
Windows 8 discounts get more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Seriously?
They show that like 15 fucking times during every single ad break. I was like, God damn it, we get it. You're desperate. You want to sell it. Ah!
Huh, that's odd. There wasn't actually that many repeating commercials for me. Which is surprising because I'm used to seeing the Hansel and Gretel commercial 6 billion times.
Oh no, that
in front of Blip and no, not Blip. Springboard.
As bad off as much as some people are complaining, oh, Hansel and Gretel, oh, this movie is gonna suck. It's got Hawkeye from the Avengers in it.
It's probably gonna suck anyways, but my god, is it gonna be a fun ride?
It is. It's gonna be one of those turn your brains off and don't think about this movie too hard because
Yeah, like Van Helsing.
Exactly, like Castlevania. Hey, it's plug time, everybody.
Yay, shield time.
Yeah, no. Don't forget to subscribe to us on Blip TV or YouTube to keep up to date with all our videos. You can also like us on Facebook. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at DarkMatch Wrestling. You can also follow us individually on Twitter as well as, because as you can see, all of our individual Twitter handles are popping up, except for Jingus because he doesn't want to join the 21st century. You can also don't forget to check out TRE Productions, where all our videos plus lots of other great stuff is hosted. We're also on RVT in the community section for now. And last but not least, visit us at the Spoonie Experiment forums in the wrestling section, where, I don't know, things happen.
Tiefus might ban you.
Yeah, Tiefus might ban you.
That makes him sound terrible, and I regret that, because he's actually a really good mod.
Yeah. I don't think he's got banning powers per se. He's got recommendations to ban. I mean, he's only a mod, right?
Yeah, but everyone that isn't an admin is a mod.
That's true. Oh yeah,
We're
that's
getting way off topic considering we're supposed to be ending this.
I know. Backlash is gonna hurt me. So yeah, that's TNA. For this week. Oh god, TNA went from boring to. Did you guys remember your wrestling show? Because I don't even remember when the WWE did the wedding of AJ and Daniel Bryan.
There was wrestling.
There was wrestling, yeah, that's what I thought. So anyways, I'm Iron Bite.
I'm Duo's Angel.
And that's the ghost of Kezra.
Just my brain is melting right now.
Oh.
Get out of Portugal?
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. Good night and good luck. Somebody play the theme music.